Hello everyone and welcome back to Steel Division 2. Today we're going to do a tutorial requested on Reddit by our friend Seedy Melon. And so in his post he says, how do I deploy correctly in 1v1? I'm brand new to the game. I'm having difficulty against very easy AI. He says, additionally, my biggest letdown is I feel rubbish is deployment. I either deploy the wrong stuff or put things in a bad place. So for example, in one game, all my mortars were out of range from the start. Any tips for 1v1 deployment? How much AA should I deploy? How much AT, mortars, recon, whatever? How do I effectively use snipers? Thanks and advice, total noob. Well, CD Melon, I know you got some good answers on the Reddit, but I figured if you have the same question, others probably do. And so I decided to create the Seedy Melon tutorial. In this one, we're going to take a look at... We're going to take a look at the 20th Panzer Division. I think you should play this division if you're brand new to the game. It's a very good division. It doesn't have snipers, but I'll explain more on that later, most likely, if I don't forget. The 20th Panzer has everything you would want. Fast tanks, strong tanks, Panzerschreck, you know, ATs, plane, anti-plane, everything you really want, you got there. First of all, for your deployment, you're going to want to use fast vehicles. So you see the flamers here are your friends. They cost 15 points. So the cheaper the unit costs, the better it is for your phase A deployment. And they go with a BMW R75, which goes at 90 kilometers an hour. So the faster you are, the better it is. So you'll want to use flamers. You'll want to use at least a few MG42s coming in fast vehicles as well. The Orch 108 goes at 90 kilometers an hour, as you can see here. So that's a very good choice. Another good choice would have been the Schwimm truck going 80 if you had no other options. So yeah, these are good choices. You want to open up with fast and cheap unit. Alright, so let's go to battle and see this in action. Now, the more on deployment 1v1, you want to deploy a lot of stuff. So don't get bogged down with tanks right at the start. You're better off with infantry and anti-tank. So let's say we're going to start here with just one flamer. Flamers are good to take flags. So you'll take your flamer here, and at the same time you'll protect if there's enemies in trucks coming in. And then you want a MG42. And first of all, you want to click unload at position, as this will make your unit move fast on the road. Okay, so that's very important. Or you could use the move fast order, but then it's a lot of micro during the battle. So just unload at position is gonna be, the AI is gonna be using the move fast order, and it's gonna unload once it gets there. So we could put our machine gun here, which is a direct approach here, because Steel Division 2 is a game of road, as it was during the war. People will fight over road, highways, you know, place like that, because the transport is easier. So you know the enemy is not going to come from here, he's not going to come from around here, he'll come from the road, at least in phase A, most likely. So the direct approach here would be to put the machine gun there, and then, or you could be a bit wittier and put it on the side as well. Now, notice how I press the button C to go look at what my unit will see and what others' unit will see. So every unit in the red zone is not going to be able to see nor shoot at my unit. So if we put the machine gun here, everyone on the hill will be able to shoot at the machine gun and kill it. And what you really want to do here is protect the bridge, right? So I would advise put the machine gun a little bit inside the forest here. And now the machine gun will just cover this. He's going to be able to shoot without getting shot at from the enemy. So this is a good deployment. But you know, if you want to start, you could have put it there as well. That would have been great. Now you always want to start with AT. So AT gun. In this case we only have 3, so we got to be smart about it. We could put a direct approach to the AT right here, would be good as well. We could put it in the forest, but now there's already a machine gun there in the forest. So technically you don't want something else beside it, because When that MG start firing, the enemy is not going to be able to see it. So what he's going to do, he's going to use his mortar, artillery, or the planes to get at it. And then this is going to become a hot zone. So you want to space your stuff a little bit. You could put your AT here between the two houses. That would be good. But then there's no cover for him, so there's no defensive bonus. Here in the forest, there's a defensive bonus. And you can see that defensive bonus by your arrow. My arrows turns yellow for a yellow defensive bonus. And here in the forest turns green for green defensive bonus. Green being the best bonus you can get. And same thing with the houses. So anyway, we'll put our anti-tank right here. So he's just a little bit up the road and all of that bridge. So this is a good deployment to protect this area, and don't overdo it, because you know the enemy could just deploy one thing there and never attack here from the whole game. So you don't want to overdo it in one sector. Now, when you think about deployment, so by the way, this you apply throughout the whole map. So I'll just do real quick here, whatever I did. So you can take all of these guys and press tab to cycle. You see under? I press tab, tab, tab. So this is good to help you deploy faster. So now I got all my 3 units. I got the flamers. Flamers are gonna go here to protect from infantry crossing over and taking this forest. Pack 40 is gonna come right here in this forest there. That's gonna protect this bit of the road. If there's enemy tank crossing, chances are they won't go toward the houses, because the enemy doesn't know you might have bazookas down in these houses. You'll probably go for the open around here, and that's when your pack will be able to shoot at them, is when they venture too far. And oops, there you go. And the machine gun will give it a direct approach here, because anyway there's not much that can shoot at it from the direction. And then just for a little extra protection, we are going to put a bazooka sorry, I'm sick, so I gotta mute the mic whenever I cough. But I'm feeling a bit better now. Anyway, we'll put a bazooka in this house. So if by any chance the enemy does go here with tanks, we'll be ready for them. So this is a good deployment. Alternatively, if you had a lot of cheap units like Ersatztruppen, and we do, we might want to put a couple of them to defend around here, and I put them together so they can all shoot at the same unit together and be a bit more strong that way. So this is just a little buffer. You know, if enemy wants to cross here, you'll see it, you'll be able to react. Because in this map, if the enemy captures this town, it's going to be very hard for you to defend, because then it's like Stalingrad, house by house. It's very difficult, right? Then you gotta look at everywhere the enemy might want to cross to attack. You need to protect this area. In this map, very easy again, is the bridges. That's where the enemy will attack, there and here. So we'll do the same thing again. You don't need AT gun everywhere. Actually, we'll put the machine gun there. We'll put the flamer right here. So this should be good enough. And then another thing to consider is the length of the road your unit needs to parkour before getting there. So you see, either we unload here, we start here or here. There's a lot of way to go, and he'll use the road. So he'll come here, this detour, to go to this flag. So this flag is capital. We want to use a lot of fast units. By a lot here, we'll use just 2, because we actually don't have that much to waste. And we'll put it here. And we'll use our last machine gun We'll put it here. Why do I put it here? Well, first of all, the flamethrowers here are there just as a defense mechanism, and in order to quickly capture that, to let the enemy know that there's something here as well. So this front line is going to be important to manipulate your enemy into thinking there's something bigger there. He doesn't know there's only just one or two flamethrower. All he knows is the front line is going to be around here, so he knows there's something. He might want to think twice about attacking. Machine gun here is basically well, it hacks, like you can see what's coming. It can also shoot at incoming stuff that might deploy here instead of deploying here. It's just like a buffer unit. Enemy might come here as well and start shooting you from this area here. Well, then you'll have your machine gun. Alternatively, you could have put your machine gun here as well. This would have been good for anything that comes out here. I like to, personally, I prefer a machine gun around this sector. And you'll want something to protect it as well. So you'll want, which brings us to wanting Cqc Unit. What is Cqc Unit? It is close quarter combat unit. And you always want that in your A phase. So in this case, we have these Tostoop. They come in fast vehicle, 90 kilometers an hour. And they're very good because they got the Molotov cocktail. So this is going to give them a big advantage in forest. And they do have some machine guns. So again, big advantage in the forest. So we'll want 2 of them with maybe a Panzergrenadier for a regular unit. And a couple of cheap ersatz troopers. So this will be our units that we want to protect the machine gun. So we'll unload right here. We'll spread them in the forest, and we're going to be defending our machine gun. Because if you leave a machine gun alone here, it'll get swarmed by enemy infantry. Now, what else do we want? We want to defend this sector with cheap units. We do have a flamer. So we'll try to use our flamer and unload here. And 1 cheap unit for good luck. Fuck, I was on mute the whole time. I don't know for how long. But basically I was saying the enemy, he'll attack most likely where both flags meet each other and where it's going to be easiest for him. So for him it's going to be hard to attack here because you got all these houses to defend. And it's going to be easy to attack there because you might have troops here defending, but you'll be able to shoot them from afar. You'll be able to infiltrate here from the forest, and so this is most likely where you'll attack first. I have seen players attack here and attack here as well. It's a guessing game, right? So you want the more troops where you think you'll attack, And I was saying this is a gamble, but it's a good one. Now you need to think, now that's your defensive deployment right here. Now you need to think where you want to attack. So that's the second part of your deployment. We've got 215 points to do so. And we've got tons of units left. Where is it easier for us to attack? I would say here. It's pretty easy. And here would be quite easy as well, even though it's pretty far from us. There is a nice forest here that can, you know, it's going to be hard for the enemy to actually defend if we do capture that. Now the reason, which one you want to decide depend on how many fast units you got left. You got these 2 Stas troops, and that's about it. So that's not a lot. It's not a lot. So I think we're going to go for this, where it's closer. What do you want to do to attack? You want to take at least a mortar to put some smoke down. Mortar will have good range of 2k. They can shoot at 3k, but try to go within the 2k range. And so we'll deploy our mortar around here. And as soon as he's deployed, we're going to put some smoke on this road, and we're going to try to attack there. So we're going to put some Stas troop. They'll be quick to attack. And then we're gonna take one Panzer Grenadier with a few cheap ersatz. Ersatz are good simply because they're cheap, so you can kind of overwhelm the enemy with. We're gonna put our Panzer Grenadier here, so we can use his double machine gun in this area and this area. It's gonna be a nice little defending unit. And these ersatz troops are just gonna be used to push and test the enemy's defense limit. So basically, yeah. So they push a little around our troops already, and they gotta form kind of like a bubble, a security bubble right there. And then we don't have points for anything else, so we're gonna take a Panzerschreck, and that Panzerschreck is gonna be defending from a vehicle, obviously. Now keep in mind the Panzerschreck is gonna move faster than all of your attack troops, so you don't want it to unload here because he'll be alone. Unload here and then move it as needed towards the enemy. That's gonna be good to do. So this is how you want to deploy stuff. Hopefully that helps you. Let's say we had snipers. Sniper here with your machine gun would have been good. A sniper here would have been good. And not, well, first of all, you could shoot here, but also it's going to give you a nice view of what the enemy has around there. Sniper in this house would have been good. Sniper here. Put snipers with your machine gun is always a good idea. And as well, sniper here with your machine gun would have been nice, or maybe even the sniper here just so he doesn't get suppressed by the same mortar shot. There would have been nice. But yeah, so now we're gonna test this out. You want to have your eyes on your mortar because this is gonna be the first unit to shoot. Alright, press U to accelerate this. Put some smoke right away. And press shift and put some more smoke. And more smoke. Your mortar's got 15 rounds. You'll shoot 5 each, so that's 3 rounds of smoke. Our first priority is going to be to get some tanks around here, so probably we're going to be using a T-34 42. Why? Because they're fast, they're good support. Alright, well, we're fighting against the Hei, so they don't have much. Let's bring a couple of T-34. Alright, let's bring a bazooka around here. We saw some tanks there. They'll probably be rolling down this road. But if they roll down here, we'll have this Panzerschreck. So we're gonna move our Panzergrenadier here. Actually, you know what? Stop. This guy's got a Panzerfaust, so we'll bring him in the nitty-gritty houses. Like that, if there's tanks coming in, we'll have a defense for it. Along with the bazooka, so that's double... oops. You want to press pause for a second. You want to remove the HE rounds of your good AT guns. So for example, the Pack 40, remove the HE gun so it doesn't show itself to the enemy. Because as you know, when the AT gun shoots, it's going to reveal itself. Now here we have a problem. It's a scout car. It's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's still a major annoyance. We'll bring AT-34 here, behind. Alright, this guy started shooting.
Infanterie bereit. Sanitäter! Wir sind festgenagelt! Ja, Kommandant. Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Klar zum Gefecht, Herr Kommandant. Sanitäter! Staffel erwartet Befehle. Feinde im Vorfeld. Was sind Ihre Befehle? Vorwärts, Marsch! Kehren zurück zum Fliegerhorn. Volltreffer! Ziel zerstört! Rabe 4, warte auf Einsatzbefehl. Jawohl. An dieser Position müssen wir raus.
So bazooka might prove useful here. Where's our... Oh shit, did he die? The Panzergrenadier that... Oh yeah, from these guys. Shoot! Oh goddamn useless motherfucker. Let's bring these guys here. Alright, we'll bring some flak. We have taken some... we've taken some territory, so we'll bring our flak right here. If we would have failed here, I would have brought my flak right about here. There you go. Now the mortar is helping these guys out.
Jawohl, Kommandant. Sanitäter! Lass mich raus! Ich will nach Hause! Lass mich gehen! Panzer vorwärts!
This guy is very annoying.
Ah, es hat mich erwischt! Marschbereitschaft hergestellt. Lass mich raus! Ich will nach Hause! Lass mich gehen! Höre Sie klar und deutlich. Rot 6, kampfbereit. Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
So yeah, anyway, so that's the basic of it. Let's bring a recon tank here.
MG einsatzbereit.
Let's bring this machine gun further just so we can shoot this guy.
Alle Mann zurück! Brauchen Sie Deckungsfeuer?
There we go, that's gonna suppress him.
Jawohl, Kommandant.
Verdammt, es hat mich erwischt.
This guy can shoot there as well, so that's all good.
Jawohl. An dieser Position müssen wir raus.
Unload your unit before they get to their destination so they don't get destroyed on the way. And there you go, now we got enemy here. But fortunately for us, we do have our flag. This is a B-26 though, it's not gonna get stopped, but yeah. What is he shooting at? These guys? That's fine. That's just Satsupen. Look, they barely lost any life in this, so that's pretty good. We're gonna bring another flag because now we know he's got some. Your other flag you want to deploy a bit behind, you know, just to so they're not cramped together. Anyway, this is basically your deployment, and after deployment, now you've captured one more flag than the enemy. You're currently winning, and it's up to you to keep this going. And I hope this answers your deployment questions. It's basically like that for everything you want to do. You want to check for fast, cheap unit to get there before the enemy can. You want to make sure you're not cramped up together. You want to make sure you don't go directly in front of the enemy. You can hide a little bit and just protect what's important. And was there something else to your question? How much AA should you deploy? Well, rule of thumb would be to deploy at least one AA in the beginning, but you don't necessarily have to. You could have plane as well. Another good thing is never deploy a plane in phase A without having AA, because then you're just asking for it to be destroyed by the enemy. How much AT? Minimum 3 AT you should deploy. And maybe have one in reserve, or you know, you definitely should deploy a lot of anti-tank stuff. Bazooka, infantry with anti-tank should be your phase A infantry, things like that. What's your other question? Mortars, yeah, mortar, you always at least want one going with your attacking troops. Recon plane, you don't really need them. I rarely use them myself. It could be good for some instances, but you don't need to fiddle with that right away. And how to effectively use snipers with your machine gun, or at least, you know, in the same crossfire as your machine gun is a good idea. And there you go. I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Goodbye.